Coach Dennehy?
Mark, it's such a young team. Has it taken a little time to kind of get an identity figured out with these guys?
Yeah, it has. But games like that, and games like last night, even the game against Fairbanks out there, go a long way to give you an idea of what you got in there. And I think, early on recognize that these guys, whatever the score is, are going to keep playing. It's a little early for playoff games. But that was a playoff game today, and for our guys to grind it out and come back from 2-0 deficit, I think says a lot about the leadership in that locker room. You look at the guys that are scoring the goals. You get a junior and Sean Bates, Mikey Collins, who holy smokes, bottle that. And Jordan Hayward, who just at times takes the team on his shoulders. They led by example tonight. Our young guys followed.
You talked about Bates coming through tonight. He's been out of the lineup for you lately. Can you talk about how big it is to just have your bench go come in and contribute, when they haven't been playing?
Yeah, no, we feel like our depth, especially up front, is something that, and now with getting bumps and bruises this early in the year, something that is going to benefit us in the long run. We've got guys that, are scratching and clawing that very easily could have played tonight that didn't. So it helps practices, makes everybody better, and you're able to put a guy in the lineup that knows what he's doing, and he's fired up to make sure that he's staying in that lineup. It's definitely I think it's a strength for us.
You guys have, I think, have trailed in all 3 home games here, but have battled back and have 2 into the ties. There's something to be said for feeding off the energy of a building that's become pretty loud in the last couple of years.
I do think that this is a home ice advantage. This is not a fun place to play. I do feel like, confidence is an interesting word in athletics, and there is a level of confidence with our team even when we're down at home. I would like them to be leading and confident, but they committed to the full 60 minutes, and they gave the crowd something to that first goal is a big goal because it gave them something to cheer about. I thought the building got a little bit louder.
Did you feel like you were able to establish your game plan after that first period, obviously down 2-0, but after that, do you feel like your team was comfortable getting back in their game plan?
You know what? I thought that the game tonight was incredibly uncomfortable for long stretches. It's a little bit like an Empcanop. We go back and we glass it, and they go back and they glass it. And there's a lot of play, a lot of foot races in the middle of the rink, a lot of pucks bouncing all over the place. I'm not that stressful a guy, but I think I even had an ulcer by the end of that thing. It was one bad bounce away from losing that game. And so it's. I thought that they made us very uncomfortable, but I'm proud of our guys because that's we found a way.
You touched on Mike Collins earlier. He just keeps scoring. What's been the key for him these last few weeks?
You know what? I think it's also the little things like chipping pucks out of the zone, like playing the body when he gets a chance, blocking shots. His scoring's going to come and go. I don't care how good a scorer you are. There's peaks and valleys in it, but how the game you bring to the ice every night, you control. And doing those little things. Anybody that comes to watch him, any NHL that comes to watch him, knows he can put the puck in the net. Is he going to be able to do those other things? He wasn't doing them the first couple games, and he's been our best player. He's been our best forward up front because he's doing all that. And it's great because now the young guys see that, and they think they can score like that too. Because if they do those things, I hope they can. But.
Seemed like Rasmus, after giving up a couple of tough goals, settled in a little bit. Did you see him maybe get a little more confidence as the game went on?
Raz is an interesting cat. He's a pretty easygoing guy. He doesn't, I've only really seen him rattle once. So, he just plays his game. It's what we liked about him, And they've only got to make one save a game is our joke, the game winner, and he made it.
You talked before the season about plugging in so many young guys, especially up front. Do you think they come together and be as good offensively as they have through the first month?
You've got to be careful about young. There's a lot of people on the internet that will point out that we're not young. We've got some inexperienced players at this level, I guess you'd put it. Yeah, we thought we had a pretty good team coming in. You know, we thought, I still think that there's a much higher threshold for this group. And it's nice to see them get better and better each game. There's still a lot to work on, but our assistant coaches work very hard. You know, it's one thing to get a Canada or a Stollery or a DeCosta. It's another thing to try to replace them. You know, teams can take runs, but to have that level of consistency when you're there year in and year out is very difficult. So I tip my cap to Stewie and Coach Carr, Coach Stewart and Coach Carr, because they're the ones on the road.
Does it make it a little easier to build when you have not young but inexperienced guys who still have a few years left? It's not like the time is now. They got to show off. They got to, you know, whatever, blow it out in their senior year. There are a lot of guys who are going to be a part of this program for a few years now. Does that make it easier to kind of get them all on the same page?
Having a lot of good players in the mix allows us to get them on the same page, because if they don't, you know, what do they say at the barbershop? Next. You know, you do your job, or the guy behind you will do your job. You know, and it really, it's been a good environment and practice, and you know, everybody's pulling for each other at the end of the day, but they know their job's up for grabs, and they're working hard to make sure they're in the lineup.
All right, guys. Thank you.